Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the part of the world you're watching us from. Welcome to Tenos King Solar Energy Academy. Today we are treating the types of solar panels. We've gone a bit far into the teaching, so we just want to give a summary of everything we've been discussing so far. In our course for today, we are going to determine these three types of common solar panels. Which of them is the best? We have the monocrystalline, the polycrystalline, and the thin film solar panel. So, Olamide, looking at the board now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 criteria or features that we are going to use to determine which of these solar panels is the best. Let's begin with monocrystalline, the efficiency. From what you see on the board, which one do you think is the best and why? You can zoom in so we can see the board. Why do you think monocrystalline is the best?
It has higher efficiency.
What is the efficiency you see here?
18 to 22%.
So imagine you have a solar panel of say 500 watts. 500 watts. One would be thinking that it's going to give you an efficiency of 18 to 22% of 500 watts. But that is not what it means. It means that your 1000 watts per meter square, 1000 watts per meter square, this panel can give you 18 to 22% of this radiance from the sun, which is going to give you that particular wattage of the panel. That is another topic you want to look forward to. So before we begin the topic, we are going to roll out information on when we are going to be treating the topic. Since you're listening to us right now, that topic is coming up next, starting, let's say, tomorrow. So now you see that this has 18 to 22% efficiency. Now look at polycrystalline. What do you see?
15 to 18%.
How about thin film?
10 to 12%.
So looking at all of this now, if we are looking at efficiency, which would we encourage someone to go?
Monocrystalline.
Beautiful. So if we look at it, that means this one takes the lead. Now let's go to lifespan. How many years do you see?
25 to 30 years.
How about for polycrystalline
20 to 25.
and for thin film?
15 to 20 years.
Looking at it again, if you were to buy a certain product with these years of lifespan, which one would you really want to go for?
25 to 30 years.
So that means mono panel gets the edge again, correct? Now let's go to the cost. And this is where the difference between an installer and the end user comes in. Which of them is best for you?
Monocrystalline.
Really? Mono. What do you see here?
Expensive.
What do you see here?
Affordable.
What do you see here?
Cheapest.
So now, would you want to spend more money if you have the option of getting it cheaper? So if you look at it in terms of cost, it feels like this is a disadvantage, this is semi, and this takes the edge. So this one has a negative effect of expenses. It is very expensive when it comes to the expenses. Now let's see why it is expensive. Let's go further. Looking at it, it has high efficiency, it has a longer lifespan, and that explains the reasons why it is not cheap. So it is not something you just want to go for if you are considering cost. If you are considering cost, you go for thin film, and if you go for the thin film, you're considering cost, you should also know that you have to forfeit efficiency and longevity. But if you are considering efficiency and a better lifespan, then you cannot use cost as a basis for your judgment. Now let's go further in terms of appearance. How does it look?
Uniform black. Structured blue. Smooth black contrasting.
So that's an easy way for you to identify it in terms of its appearance. Now let's look at flexibility. Mono, how does it look? This one, this one.
Flexible.
What it simply means is this is a panel. This is a mono panel. Can you squeeze this panel?
No.
Can you fold it?
No.
You see that this panel is rigid. You can't bend it. to fit a certain space. It has to take the shape, and that is the another disadvantage, but not really a disadvantage, just telling you about the appearance. But in terms of the thin film, it's like a sticker. You can fold it, you can gum it somewhere. But this one, they are rigid, they are not folded. Now let's look at the area of application. Where is this best used?
Space limited.
So we are looking at a rooftop where the space is not that big, but you want to use just small panel to have a better, bigger result. So in that case, you use a mono panel. Now looking at poly panel, what do you see? Best installation.
Body installation.
So this one is pocket friendly. When you are looking at saving cost, this one is better. It is not very expensive, it is not very cheap. In terms of performance, it's not going to give you the best, it's also not the worst of them all. So it's in between. This is where majority of people fall in. Now, looking at thin film, which one is the best among these three? Where is it best to use?
Large open space.
Or portable use, where you can fold it, areas where you can bend it, like in the case of the skyscraper I told you, you want to gum it there in such a way that you will save it, you can fold your space, you can manage it. So if you look at it, you will see that the only disadvantage this one has is this cost. Every other thing is a check. So based on these criteria for determining which one is the best, which one wins it all?
Poly.
Poly. Why do you say poly?
Because it's pocket friendly and not too expensive.
Okay. So depending on your basis for judgment, if you are looking at cost, you don't want to use generator. You don't want to buy fuel. You also don't want to pay so much money from the pocket, but you want to use solar. This one is the best. But if you are looking at efficiency and longevity in terms of lifespan, this one is the best. This one will save you space, it's going to give you higher wattage, and it can last you for so long. So depending on your basis for judgment. If I were to go for this, if I'm to recommend, I would recommend mono. And the reason is because I can get better efficiency. Efficiency is the key. If you are using iPhone 16 or iPhone 17 and your battery is lasting for 30 minutes when you charge it fully, and somebody else is using iPhone 7 Plus and the battery is lasting the person for 1 day, who is using iPhone 7 Plus is better than you? Abi? Days where there is national grid issue, you'll be going everywhere with power bank. At some point, the iPhone 17 becomes like a body. So if you have solar panel, and every now and then you still need to go and on generator and make noise, then there is no difference, so no much difference between you and I pass my neighbor. Do you get it? Yes. So if you are to install for someone, as an installer, you are looking at efficiency. This is the number one criteria, that is why it's on the list. Efficiency is key. If you do a job for someone and the person is not pleased with how it is performing, the person will not refer you to someone else tomorrow. But if you do a job and you get good recommendation, that's a referral basis for you. One person will tell someone that is in need of you, and words will just continue to spread. The same way it takes one person to give you 10 people, it also takes one person to bring you down. So as an installer, our preference is usually on efficiency. The end user considers cost. We focus on efficiency. But where cost is a problem, we meet at an equilibrium and we go for this. So do you have any question? Hope you enjoyed the session today. Thanks for joining us. See you tomorrow.